When it came to Summer Bunnies, that's actually me on the cover. There's him sitting in a car and you see this girl's booty with a thong. That's actually me. I'm in the Summer Bunnies video. I did all the choreography for Summer Bunnies. People have no idea that I'm in Thoing Thoing. That's me in the geisha face. That's me with the big wig in front. People have no idea it's me in Happy People. I did the wardrobe. I did the choreography for that. People can go look at Billboard Awards. That is me on stage with him. Every tour he's ever been on, that's me on stage with him. So I really don't feel like I owe anybody a goddamn explanation about me and what I do. But for those who choose not to do the research and they are quick to say, well, she kept the last name. And then people say, well, Tina Turner did too. And they'll say, well, Tina Turner brought something to the table. You don't even know what I do. You don't even know what my profession is. And at the end of the day, how do I bring a table when I am the table?
What's up, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing so good. If you're new to my channel, I am so gifted. Welcome. So I wanted to go ahead and get into this conversation that Drea Kelly had with Carlos King. So if you do not know who Drea Kelly is, she is a dancer, choreographer, and actress. She has choreographed for a number of entertainers, including her ex-husband, singer-songwriter R. Kelly. So in this conversation, Drea speaks about the domestic abuse that she experienced in her marriage with R. Kelly and how to spot signs of a possible abuser and how to get out of an abusive relationship. Drea also addresses in this interview the controversy surrounding her deciding to keep her ex-husband's last name. So let's go ahead and get into it.
What is the number one sign that women can see that is a telltale sign that this man is a potential abuser?
Ooh, there's so many, but I would say the main one is women need to know the difference between compromise and sacrifice. They don't even know what it is. Because as little girls, well, first of all, let me take it way back. As women, we're conditioned to believe that love is violent. And I'm going to tell you why. When we're little and we're on the playground and little boys pull our hair or they kick us or they tease us or call us fat or you're ugly and you tell your teacher it hurts my feelings, what's the first thing they tell little girls? He's doing that because he like you. He just picking on you because he like you. As little girls, we've been conditioned to believe that men and boys show us love through violence. And little boys are conditioned to believe that you have to be violent to show a woman love. It's sick. So that's why I say a lot of people who are in it don't even realize they're in it because we've been conditioned since we're little to be in it. The second thing is we don't know the difference between compromise and sacrifice because we're told, girl, when that, ooh, honey, you married, you know you ain't going to be able to dress like that no more. Ooh, girl, you know you married, you ain't going to be able to hang with your friends like you used to no more. Girl, you married, you know that man going to want you to stay in the house. So they're teaching women to sacrifice of self. They don't teach you a healthy man doesn't mind you having your own friends. A good compromise is now, girl, when you get married, you know, every weekend can't be ladies' night, can't be girls' night out. But it's healthy that at least one weekend out the month, you take some time for you and your girls. And girl, you still dress sexy, but you know, when you with your husband, you want to be mindful. But when you with your girls and you want to be cute, and baby, you better be cute for him. Show him your titties sometimes. We're not taught that as women. We're told once you get with a man, you must sacrifice all that is you to keep him happy. So now you're in an abusive relationship and he wants you to sacrifice yourself for him. Give up your friends, give up your family. You're not going to school. I'm the provider. Change the way you dress. You're not going out. You know, I don't like your best friend that she can't come around. We don't know the difference because everything that big mama, auntie, friends have told us is he's going to have these set of rules for you when you get married, boo, and you better follow him if you want to keep him. Ooh, and honey, don't be doing no complaining because at least he pay all the bills. You got a roof over your head. Well, controlling men do that too. Mine paid all the bills. I had a roof over my head, but couldn't even take my ID to the bank and get money out to leave him.
You're breaking generational curses right now.
Yes.
Everything you said, I receive it. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go into detail. Somebody was told recently that I've witnessed, when your man wants sex, ask God for the courage to withstand it if you don't want it. And everybody in the room said,
So
Okay.
the term for that is marital. It is a real thing. I was in counseling for a very long time, Dr. Linda Randall, and she said, one day, Drea, you're going to find the courage to say I was by my husband. And I'm like, girl, now you done went too far. She said, I want you to look up the definition. Is without consent, coercion, if violence is used against you. And I'm like, oh, I've been that and then some. I've been hogtied by this man. I've been blindfolded, had people come in the room, don't know if it's a man or a woman. When I say I have been through it, Carlos, but still in my mind, society makes women think that you can't be by your husband. You can't be by your fiance. And then I ask women, how many times have you been by him and you say you don't like it, but he say he a freak and it turns him on? How many times have y'all been in a volatile situation or grabbed you, and we actually coined this term, makeup sex? How many times, women? How many times? And it just escalates from there. How many times through coercion have you told a man you don't want to do a threesome, and he will use this psychology on you? Well, at least I'm asking you. I could be out there cheating and asking another woman. I'm trying to share this experience with you, and you in here tripping. It ain't like I'm doing it behind your back. I'm trying to have you involved so you know what's going on. And the whole time I don't want to do it. I don't see what the big deal is. Coercion, trying to convince you to do something that you've already said you don't want to do. Now, if it was somebody outside of your husband and you went into a courtroom and said, yeah, he strangled me, immediately done. We're not going to sit here and question that.
But when it's your husband,
When
details.
it's your husband, your fiance,
Yeah.
your boyfriend, we don't even give women that. So many women I've spoken to, they was like, Drea, I can't even really handle this right now because I don't know how many times I have actually been by my husband or my boyfriend or my fiance. How many times it has been volatile and he wants to have makeup. Are you kidding me? So that's what I mean when I say Drea's in her be arrogant with my greatness era. Not arrogant as in put people down. I'm arrogant in it because I want women to know, stand 10 toes down on what you've been through. Do not blink. Do not cry. And even if you do cry, with your throat shaking, with your knees trembling, with your heart beating, with your beads of sweat, even when you feel like you're going to pass out, your voice is your power. Never lose your voice. And I don't care if it take you 10 years and one person to listen. Use your voice. Your voice is your power.
And what advice would you give women on how to leave an abusive marriage?
Have a plan. Have a plan. Down to, if you're leaving, do you have your baby's school records, immunization records, and birth certificate? Why? Because when you take them out of one school to put them in another, you're going to need all that. You can't just take a child to school and be like, here, I want to enroll DeAndre. Ma'am, where's his immunization records? Where's his records from the last school he was in? Where's his birth certificate and social security card? If your children are on medication, that's why I'm trying to make my way to the Congress floor as we speak. You should be able to have open-ended prescriptions so that if your child is on medication, you don't have to risk your life going back to a town that you escaped to go to a doctor that your husband or ex-husband or fiance knows you take the kids to go get a prescription. The problem with some of these prescriptions, they won't write it unless you go see a doctor. You have to have an appointment. They have to check out the child first, then write you the prescription. They will not just write you a prescription over the phone. Listen, tell your family. They can't help you out of what they don't know you're in. And I know you're ashamed, you're embarrassed, you're afraid, you're nervous, but they have to know. Because all of a sudden it's just, oh, she left. We don't know where she went. If they don't know that you even left, if you come up missing, they don't know because you've been so alienated from them. They're used to not hearing from you for a year. They're used to not hearing from you for 6 months. So this man kill you and nobody hears from you for 6 months. That's normal because he's alienated you from so many people. When you're ready to leave, tell everybody, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. If something happens to me, it's because I left. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm telling you, I plan on leaving. This is the date I'm leaving. This is where I'm going when I leave. If I do not call you and I do not show up there, please call the police. That's alarming to your family, because then they like, we ain't heard from her in 6 months. All of a sudden, she's talking about leaving. Pay attention, y'all. And the other thing, have some kind of cash, some kind of money, so that you don't have to go into a bank and ask a teller. Because guess what's the first thing they're going to do? We have to call him for authorization. Now he knows where I am. Now he knows I'm trying to get money. Now he knows I plan on leaving. Because you ain't never been to the bank before to get money. You always had to come to me. So now you need money, where you going? And have 2 escape routes. I don't care if somebody has to pick you up. There's a drop off. That's who my dad was for me. We met at the parking lot at Marshall's, got in the car. And let me tell you something about my daddy. In the middle of the night when I escaped, he said I would have went to prison that night, because I'm telling you right now, if he would have rolled up on me and my grandkids, I would have that man where he stood, and I would have been fine saying I love y'all with my hands on the glass from prison, because he wasn't getting you that night. But even then, if you don't know if somebody's following you, make sure there's a pickup drop off and another pickup drop off. And even then, you have to be careful. Wherever your permanent residence is, go somewhere temporary first. Go to the police first. Document as much as you can. I know it's hard to do because you're just in survival mode, but as much as you can document, as much as you can record, take pictures of your bruises. So when you do leave, you have something ironclad. But it's the hardest thing to do, because every day you just like, how do I get this man not to kill me? You're not processing that. You're just trying to think, how do I keep him happy enough that today doesn't turn volatile? And my last thing I'd say, do it afraid. Do it full of fear. Like, I literally have this tattoo that says fearless. And the reason I have this tattoo that says fearless, I said, if when I fear him less, I will live a fearless life. Mm-hmm. So fearless means more to me than people know. I did it afraid. But I had total peace. And this is what I want women to know. I'm not wishing death on none of y'all. But this is the thing that allowed me to go through that gate. I said, God, I would rather die leaving than die because I stayed. And I had complete peace about death the day I escaped. Because he will not be in this house. You will have to me leaving. But everybody's not built like me, and I know that. So for the ones who are not, again, have your plan, have some money, 2 escape routes, let your family know. And don't look back. I never look back.
So people have commented that your kids are grown. Why do you still carry R. Kelly's last name? Due to the fact that you know what he's in jail for. Your kids are grown. Girl, you don't need it. How do you feel when people say that?
What you feel. I don't. At the end of the day, I earned this name in blood, sweat, and tears. It's my kid's name. And my analogy is this. When all the shit hit the fan, how would you feel if your name is Brown and your kid's name is Brown, and your family goes through something and you tell your kids, oop, you were Brown by yourself, I'm up. I don't want, no. If my kids have to go through it as Kelly, they mama going through it as Kelly. If you had to put up with the bullshit as Kelly, I'm going to make sure that I take the tarnish off this name and you live and celebrate the name Kelly. At the end of the day, people shouldn't be worried about why I kept the last name. They should be worried about what I do with the last name, because the last name Kelly gets 2020 to follow me. The last name Kelly gets me on CNN to talk about domestic violence awareness and be an advocate. The last name Kelly allowed me to go on military bases and talk about abuse. The last name Kelly had me go to universities. And here's the real gag. Boo, if my name wasn't Kelly, you wouldn't even care. My name means more to you than it does to me. Because Miss Jones is going through the same thing I'm going through right now. Miss White is going through it. Miss Anderson is going through it. But y'all don't care about it. Y'all not on her page commenting. You're not trying to be an advocate. You're being nosy. Why? Because my last name is Kelly. So again, you shouldn't worry about why I kept the last name. You should be celebrating what I do with the last name. And there's a lot of y'all out here who's giving y'all kids' last name to a baby daddy that don't claim you or the kids.
Child, so Drea said, I do not care about how y'all feel about me keeping my ex's last name. Do it look like I care?
Do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
She said, I don't give a what y'all think. But I really did enjoy this interview that Drea Kelly did with Carlos King. I think that it was a great interview, and it gave a lot of people a chance to really see her personality and to speak her truth or her experiences, especially if you didn't get a chance to see her on the show Hollywood Exes. That is where I was first introduced to Drea Kelly, and honestly, I really did like her on that show. And she was on a few other shows also, and she was on Growing Up Hip Hop. I never got a chance to watch that, but yeah, I do think that this was a great interview that she did with Carlos King. I will be linking that video in the description box below so that you guys can watch it in full in its entirety, because it is a great interview. And I do think that she dropped some gems in this interview and conversation surrounding domestic violence. And I really love how she mentioned that another form of domestic abuse in relationship or marriage is coercion, using threats or other intimidating behaviors to get you to do something you don't want to do. Like, for example, if you're not in the mood to be sexually intimate and your partner threatens to go get it from someone else, or they'll threaten to like financially cut you off, or they'll physically threaten you, that is definitely a form of abuse. Even if you are in a relationship or marriage, you still have the right to say no. So I really love that she brought that up. And like I said, you guys, I will link this full video in the description box below so that you can watch it in its entirety. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know how you feel about it. Let's chop it up in the comment section down below. How do you feel about Drea keeping her last name? And also, how do you feel about the advice that she gave in this video or in this conversation regarding domestic violence? And is there anything that you can add to the conversation? Also, don't forget to drop your city, your state, your location. I want to know where in the world this video reaches. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again. Peace.